a certain sadhana. It's like a child, you see. A child is is playing, crying, wailing. You give the child some toys to play. The child will start to play with the toys, will count down until they think of their mother and run to the mother. It's the same thing with the mind. You see, the sadhana is important. Sadhana is the toy we give to the mind, because our mind is mostly focused on the outside reality. Our mind is designed to run toward you. The moment you close your eyes in your meditation, in your sadhana, what happens? Whatever you have read will jump inside. Then you start analyzing, you start thinking about. Then you're not doing anything. You're still feeding the mind. Second, it said, be grateful. If you're grateful, firstly, for life itself, you will have plenty. If you're ungrateful for life, you will always be miserable. Third, it said, meditate. Sit down. If you can sit and close your eyes and meditate and be in the state of meditative state, then do it. If not, just sit 5 minutes in silence. Don't think. Even if you perceive that your mind is thinking, don't run behind your thoughts. Let your thoughts go, but remind your thought that who is the master. Bring it back. Fourth, it said try to be kind. Kindness. We can be kind by helping, by doing service. But above all, see in yourself what you can do. If you analyze yourself, see, have I been kind today? Or what kindness shall I give tomorrow to others? Fifth, try to be joyful. Try to be happy. To smile. A smile don't cost much. Does it cost a lot? It doesn't cost a lot. But yet, that's the most difficult thing for people to give. A smile. Laugh. Be happy. Why you have to be tense? 6, be light-hearted. Which means be yourself. Doesn't matter how you are, Firstly, you have to accept yourself. If you accept yourself, it doesn't matter how people see you, whether you have good quality or not good quality. This is all passing by, nothing stays. That's what we call a day. Yesterday is finished. Today is a new day, which is opportunity. And the 7, try to be in the moment. These are 7 things you do. You will see that your life itself will change. Your mind itself will alter. Nobody needs to tell you to change. Because if people tell you to change, you will never change. But if you take the resolution for yourself to change, you will change. Now take one of these 7 things that I told you. It will help. Hinduism and Buddhism. In Buddhism, Narayana is seen sometimes as an emanation from the heart of Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara is the one with the mini hand, eh? Yeah, because not that much. So a bodhisattva on his way towards Buddhahood. Sometimes as a bodhisattva himself. Isn't it, divine shine, the importance of Narayana in a way that it is disrespect of Hinduism, which is in turn respect Buddha as an avatar of Narayana himself. How could such diverse view respect each another? Look, you see, if we want to compare, there is many things to compare. Because the whole tradition is different. You know? But we have to see that even before Buddha existed, Narayana existed. So our scriptures have placed Lord Buddha as an incarnation of Narayana because of the transformation that he brought to the world. You know? That awareness which he brought to the world. Of course, many people have their own belief, you know, in how things is. You know, some will say, you know, like for me, I will say that Avalokiteshvara is Sriman Narayana himself, you know, because he is the Supreme Lord, which the whole emanation emerged from him, and the whole emanation is in him, and everything is ruled only by him. It's not a state of bodhihood or bodhisattva, you understand? So there's much difference between the two, but this difference is only in the understanding. For people who follow one path, they would praise that path. And another people who follow another path would praise the path they are following. But in reality, both are aiming for the same. No? Whether you say it in one way or you say it in another way, this doesn't affect the Supreme Lord himself. But it's just come in the form of how you understand him and how you aim him. That's why in the Bhakti path, we talk about this relationship, you know, between you and Bhagwan. But in that, you will not see very often in many other traditions. They will not talk about this relationship. Because whenever you talk about relationship, there is two. No? You can't have a relationship with one. In a relationship, there is two. In Bhakti, there is two. That's why Buddhism is Advaitism. Whereas Bhakti path is Advaita, which means the Lord is fully present. The Lord is fully manifested. And the Lord is also not a state, but a person which you can relate to, have a connection with, you can have a relationship with. It's not a state of mind which you enter into. So coming to that question, it's a matter of belief only. One is to build this relationship with the supreme reality, like Krishna, when in the Gita, Krishna shown to Arjuna his cosmic form, you know, his Virat Swarupa. No? Arjuna was looking, but He said, but you are the supreme Brahman. You are the formless God, but yet you have this cosmic form also. Then Krishna said to Arjuna, you see what you perceived, those who call me Brahman, who perceive me as a formless state, is only the shadow of my toenail. Imagine that. It's just the shadow, that state of the formless state, the state of formless God. It's just the shadow of the toenail of the Virat Swarupa. Here Bhagavan give also, when you see the Gita, I said, I am the subtlety of the water. I am the light of the fire. I am the Atma of the Atma. So when he talk about that, he talk about everything which is not tangible. But yet, he's talking about himself. So you see, one bring you to another, to a state only, but furthermost is only when you have this eternal relationship, you have this longing for him. Without this longing, you can't attain him. That's why he revealed to the simple. When you read the life of the Bhakta, you will see the relationship with Bhagavan. We can say, yes, the Lord is just an idea. For many people nowadays, God is just a concept. No? For some other religion, it's just, okay, we will do everything, we will go to heaven just to have fun up there. No? But this is not the concept of realizing God. The concept of realizing God firstly is this relationship. We don't know him, but we get to know him. That's what you see. What I could understand through that question, is that in Buddhism, of course, they grow in their spiritual path, coming to the state of Buddha state, Bodhisattva, and the state of realizing the Supreme. Lord Buddha never said that God doesn't exist. Why leaders are investing too much money in war? Well, this is the time. You see, in ancient time, there was always war. Bhagavan Krishna himself fought in the war, no? He didn't fight, but he was a charioteer. Nowadays, but there was certain dharma in the war. Nowadays, war, there is no dharma. War is about what can I gain. So each leader think in that way. If there is no war, they will pay to make the war. Those are called investment. For that kind of investment, some which is poor is getting poorer, and those which is rich is getting richer. And that's why government invests so much in war. While traveling, in my travel, there was one movie I watched in the plane called Made in America. Have you seen it? Have you heard about? No? You see? It's a very interesting movie. How a man was ordered by the government to do trafficking and have full support of the government. You see, when people, the question is why they invest so much into that? Because they're gaining something into it. If they will not gain something into it, they will not invest. If you don't gain, see, human beings are selfish. Now, if you do something to gain something, if there's nothing to gain in it, would you do it? No, you would not do. So this selfishness is there. And of course you have greater shark, who want to gain much more. That's why they invest. It's all about that. It's like in business, when you invest something, you don't invest to get less. Yes or no? I don't know, business people. If you want to invest, it's always to get more, nah? So, such investment, they are doing also. The question was how old Srimati Radharani became. This is not mentioned anywhere. And also, how did she die? You see, we have to see Srimati Radharani is not, she never died. She's ever present in the form of bhakti inside the heart of everybody. Radha, what is Radha? Who is Radha? No, see, next to Krishna is always Radharani, na? Who is Radha? Radha, in Bhagavatam, she is described as Aradhana. Aradhana means single-pointed minded devotion, unflickering devotion. That's what Radha stands for. So Radharani, she is and is always, she never died, but because she's ever living in the heart of each bhakta. When you long for God, when your Atma is longing for God, that longing is Radha. Longing, what is longing? When we love God, yes or no?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
You know Him? Eh? To love, you must know Him, no? So how, I'm asking you. You know Him? You see? Yes, you do know Him. He comes in many ways, form, name, scriptures. One more.
Guru.
Huh?
Guru. Guru.
Good. I said it a few days ago. So, God comes in this form, 4 forms, so that you can have your relationship with Him. And Radharani is when your relationship, when you have this single focus of attaining Him, that Radha. According to some later scriptures, Radha did live and became very old. There was somebody in Vrindavan, in Braj, called Radha, and she was very dear to Krishna. And in some scriptures say that when she became so old, Krishna came to her and she disappeared into Krishna. But these are later scriptures, because these scriptures are only 500 years old. Before that, Radha didn't, the aspect of Radha didn't exist. That's why when you go in the south of India, the southern part, they have all the temple for Krishna, Satyabhama and Rukmini. Radha, that word Aradhana was transformed to Radha by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The question, what is Advaita? And how can we feel it? You see, Advaita and feeling don't all go together. Advaita is a mind concept of understanding. There's no feeling into it. Whether you exist, you don't exist, whether you're here, you're not here, it's equal. It's like you live a life just for the sake of living, that's it. There's no aim there's no goal, what you want to attain. In life you understand everything with the mind, as long as everything can be understood with the mind, that's it. And then you have Alzheimer, you don't even remember everything is gone. That's called Advaita. So this is in short. So there's no feeling into it, there's no relation into it. There's no state where you say, yes, I want to attain that state. There is no goal into it. Because everything is. So when everything is, then you don't need to do anything. Yes or no? You just live your life like an animal. When life is done, it's gone, finished. There's no focus, nothing. So, this is the question, because there's no feeling into it. There's nothing to talk about, no? So why would we talk about? To stand like a Statue of Liberty. Please tell us about the importance of fidelity, and are there karmic consequences when couple are unfaithful? Well, I told you the law of karma earlier. Huh? You see, when you take a certain responsibility in life, you must assume that responsibility. Because you see, why people meet each another? Because there's certain karma between each another to finish. Law of karma is like that. They don't bring you together so that you can create more karma. They bring you together so that you can finish that karma, which, like I said, you don't know how many lives of karma you have worked to finish certain life with somebody. So karma bring you together also in that way, so that you can finish that. But within that, of course, you have to honor that relationship. No? It happens sometimes that when the karma is finished between people, of course, then there is no, feeling, or there is no bond between the person. Then there's nothing to live. So it doesn't mean that you go and then you live your life together so that you can advance also. But the question is about fidelity and being unfaithful. So you see, if you are in love with somebody, then you have to be faithful with that person. If you are not faithful, of course, you will have to bear the karmic reaction of that. And the karmic reaction of that is based in this life itself. This is not like I was telling the story earlier. So you said, okay, I will, in many lives then I will leave it, who cares about it, you know. It's not like that. This one, you will pay well. You will go through that karmic reaction in this life itself. Are there infinite numbers of universe, and if yes, can a normal person travel between them? It would take a little bit of some millions of years. But you see, when we look at the Bhagavad verse, the beginning of Bhagavad itself is describe all the universes, the endless universes. No? The Bhagavad starts with that. No? Explaining dimensions and universes, almost the concept of what one can understand. I'm not talking about the Devalok and Bhulok and Patalok only. I'm talking about far more beyond that. But how did they know about how Vedavyas wrote about this? You know? From where did he got that knowledge? When we look at the sages, what they wrote at that time, you know. How? When we look at when he compiled the Veda itself, you know, nowadays people are seeing that whatever the scientists are saying, that whatever is written in the Veda, everything is related to all these things, what is happening. How? See, the human mind is very complex in itself. You know, that's why Bhagavan said, you know, surrender your mind unto me. Now let your mind be unto me. No. That mind is not just what you do to the day-to-day. When you go through the journey of the mind has a different aspect to itself. The same mind, you see, Bhagavan Krishna said, the mind can be your worst enemy, and a controlled mind is your best friend. No? But how many mind there is? One only. So the yogi, they have the super mind, you know, the divine mind. And through their mind, they could be here, but travel in the whole universe and observed everything. They travel from past, present, future. It's no different. God knows everything. So when you come to the state of that, you know, your mind has transformed into the divine mind, then you can travel. And I'm not talking about many people often say, yes, I'm traveling, you know, but then they lose ground completely. You know, even being normal, they are flying around. Ungrounded people, I'm not talking about that, you know. There are many ungrounded people. You know, they imagine so many things, hearing so many things, you know, doing loose nuts inside. I'm not talking about this loose nut, no. I'm talking about sincere spirituality, those who have truly gone deeper inside. The journey inside, you see the cosmos, what you see outside. Inside it is said that your body is a microcosmos itself. Of whatever you see in the outside is the reflection of your own body itself. So please don't cut your body and look inside to look for some unscrew person, they will think like that, So ungrounded people, because they hear things, they understand it their way they want, So, but the yogis are different. That's what Krishna said. Become a yogi. A yogi, there is no limit. They are transcending this reality, this physical. Even being here physical, they can be in many places at the same time. So, it is possible when you become a real yogi. Not just for the name's sake, you have a name yogi. Because of nowadays there's so many kind of yogis, You travel the world, you have all kind of yogi. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about true yogi who have this sincere spiritual growth inside of them. That for them they grow. Then for them there is no limit. They can be physically here, they can be also spiritually watching. You can be sitting here and observe the whole world, what is happening. When one comes to that state, there's no need to travel. There's no need to move from one place to the other. They just be, and they are also everywhere. Of course, they can visit all the multi-universes. If some of your relatives have committed suicide, can you help them? Yes, pray for them. Pray for the soul. Guruji, can you please tell us how is it after death when we are with God? Well, it doesn't mean that when you die you go directly to God. Can you tell us please sometimes about it? Something about it. Death is something which people are very scared of. How many of you are scared of dying? Come on, be a bit sincere. Lift your hand if you're scared of dying. Why are you scared of dying?
Because I don't want to live my life story.
Then you should do something that you immortalize yourself, no? You will never die. So, tell me, why are you scared of dying? How do you know? Well, you see, death don't send an invitation when it comes. Now imagine, everybody have their own karma. No? We were talking about karma earlier. When karma catches, it doesn't matter where you are, it will take you. No? It's like there will be thousands of people, no? But when an accident happened, one person died. Out of a million, one person died. No? So what it is? The karma of the person, no? When karma catches up. But we have to understand what, like Krishna said, we don't die. The Atma is eternal. That you know about. No? You have read it, somebody have told you about it. But yet, people are sad because due to attachment. You throughout life you built a certain attachment to someone. Of course there is an emptiness when they leave. But at the same time, how long do you sit and cry? 1 month? Huh? That's it, no? After 1 month, your life get normal, no? I'll tell you a story. There was a wife, there was a very learned, a great professor, put it like that. And he was so great, but he was working for the king. So he was so nice, but the king said to him, listen, we will provide for you. So the king gave him big mansion to stay, and he was very rich. Then it came to a point that, okay, he have everything, he have a big house, he have all the money he have, no? So one day, as he was walking towards to the king, he met his guru, and the guru said, listen, you seem so unhappy, what is this? He said, look, I have everything. I have beautiful children, I have a wonderful wife, I have money, I have house, but yet I feel still unsatisfied. I'm still unhappy inside. Why is that? Then the Guru said, listen, that happiness only God can give you, nothing else, nobody else. I said, oh yeah, but how can I leave? My wife loved me so much. My children love me so much. It reminds me also of the story of Valmiki. You know the one who wrote the Ramayana. No? What was he before he became a great sage? He was a criminal. He was killing everybody who were passing by in the forest and stealing everything and provide for his wife, parents and everything. One day there was a sage passing by in the forest, and the sage said to him, listen, you want to kill me? Fine, I don't have any problem. Yeah? Good, that is fine, but answer me one question. For all this killing you have been doing, okay, you have done it for your family, they are all happy. No? But for all this killing, you have also accumulated a lot of sin, no? Lot of power. So, as you have accumulated so much sin, who will help you? Go and ask your beautiful wife. Go and ask your wonderful kids. Go and ask your mother who loved you dearly. Go and ask your father who loved you dearly. If they will also take part in the sin that you have accumulated. So Valmiki at the time, went, he was shocked by this question. Because such question, and somebody is so terrifying, nobody will dare tell you such things, no? So the sadhu said, listen, I will wait for you here. Go and ask them. So he went and asked his wife, listen, my dear wife, I have provided for you whatever you want. All the killing, I've been doing, all the jewelry have been given to you. Listen, but I have a question about in my mind. Because for all this, I have accumulated a lot of sin. Can you take some sin on yourself? The wife, when she heard that, she became very shocked. Said, no, how can I? It was you marry me, and you love me so dearly. Would you take some of my sin? Mother looked down, said, son, as much as I love you, I can't take your sin. Valmiki was shocked. Said, I have done all my life. I have done everything for them. I have killed for them. But yet, they can't even take the sin. So Valmiki come back to the sadhu, fall down at his feet and ask for forgiveness. Said, how should I redeem myself from this sin? And the sadhu said, you will redeem yourself from the sin only by the name of the Lord himself. Then he got him initiated, he transformed his life completely, and he became the author of Ramayana. So like that, the story was telling previously, the man have accumulated everything, but yet he didn't have the peace of mind inside of him. So his guru reminded him, that listen, you have everything, but you don't have God. You must let go of everything, then you will have him. Let go of him doesn't mean to detach, detach of the mind. The mind must detach from it. So, saying that he was a bit rebellious, in the mind, you don't. How when somebody tell you, you have to let go of it, then how can I let go of such beautiful people around me? The Guru said, listen, I'll give you this little pill, swallow it. You will appear deaf. You will not have the pulse, but yet you will be able to hear everything. So the next day, early morning, he woke up when everybody was sleeping, took the pill, and then he lie down. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock was not his way, He would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, do his puja, then he will go to the kingdom. So his wife saw him lying down there, tried to wake him up, he was cold. The wife started screaming, wailing. So, as she was wailing, of course the neighbor, the children, everybody came to see what was happening. They said, okay, he's dead now, and we can't do anything. So they said, you have to put him down. And as he was so dear to the king, we have to prepare the funeral. And for that we need to get sandalwood, because he was such a great person, we have to burn him on sandalwood, because all the dignitary was burned on sandalwood. So as he was, of course he could hear everything. So they took the axe, was going to break his bed was made with sandalwood. The wife stopped wailing and said, what are you doing? Why are you breaking the bed? He is dead, we can't do anything. But at least leave the bed, it's still beautiful bed like that, why do you want to burn it? Okay. They said, okay, we'll make other arrangement. Then, it was time, he died in such a posture that he can't go out through the door. They have to break the door. Again, the wife said, "What are you breaking the door? He's dead, break his leg." It's easy to break his leg to go outside. Why you have to break the door? So fine. At that same moment, the Guru came in. So he had heard enough. The Guru came in, said to the wife, "Listen, you were just wailing right now. Why have you leave me?" You know, because when in the Hindu tradition it's like this, no? When the wife the husband died, you know, before the wife always say, well, I've seen it with my grandma and my granddad also. The wife was always screaming, and my grandma was always screaming, "Oh, why have you leave me? Why you didn't take me with you?" And all this blah blah blah. So, bearing into the mind, they're thinking of the security. Oh, my bank account have gone. So, the Guru came, said, "Listen, I will revive him, but one of you must die. I have a pill." I said, "Listen, just now I heard you saying, why have you leave without me?" "Oh, it's not a problem." Said to the wife, "Take the pill." And wife said, "No. Who will look after my children? I want to see my grandchildren," and so on. It is his bad luck, but he died. Then the Guru said to the mother, "My ma, you were just saying it's a bad luck, but my child is dead before me. You know, why have you died, my child? You know, so fine, you take the pill. Like that, you will die before your son. Your son will be back to life." Mother said, "No, I can't do that. I want to live." The same thing he said to the children. They said, "No, we're still young." At that, the Guru takes some water and throw it under his face. The man woke up without looking left, right, because he heard everything. He said, "Bye-bye" to everybody. But this is not the question which the person asked, you know. It was just to get your attention a bit about death, you know. Because death is a mystery. You know. People, like you were just saying, you're scared. You know. Why you're scared is due to fear. Fear of unknown. Or fear of letting go. You know, when you see your dear one in front of you dying, of course you feel sad inside. You know, but yet, how long does that stay? You know, it don't stay for a long time. So people are scared of dying because they don't know, but they have something which is eternal inside of them. Those who have not realized themselves as being the Atma, they will always have fear for not only dying, but for many things. Even if they have to do something in life itself, you know. In place of saying, yes, I will succeed, what happened? They know, I don't think I can do that. Then they are limited into that consciousness itself. They can't transcend the limitation of things. In reality, dying is the most wonderful thing. In the Garuda Puran, it's explained, dying is an art in itself, you know. Of course, you know, the best way of dying is to die consciously, reciting the name of God, being absorbed in the divine name. This is the best way of dying. But for that, you must practice. Don't think that tomorrow, I will be dying. It will be easy for me to take the name of God. Very, very much people think about that, especially in the Hindu tradition. Every Hindu think of that. Because they think that God's name is for granted. If I take it for granted, that's it. No. You have to earn it. And to earn that, you must practice. Now itself. In the Bhagavad, there's a story of Ajmer. Have you heard about it? Ajmila? No? No one of you have heard a story of Ajmila? Ajmila was such a bad person, and throughout his life he was very cruel. But he had one thing, like all the Hindu, who like to put God's name to their children. So Ajmila had put also his son's name, Vishnu. So automatically when you're dying, you will call your person which is next to you. You're having a heart attack, you will call the person next to you, no? So Ajmila, throughout his life, was very cruel. And he was hurting people, he was cheating people. So, for his good luck, because due to punya from previous lives, he named his son Vishnu, and he was able to call his son name Vishnu. The moment he pronounced the name Vishnu, he died. He breathed his loss and died. And the Atma, when the Atma was leaving the body, the Atma could perceive. At the same time, because he was so cruel in his life, Yamraj, then Yamdud was there. No? And at the same time, from Vishnu Lok, the Devas came to get the soul of Ajmer. And there was a big fight between them. That this is a bad man, he have never done anything good in his life. But then the emissaries of Narayana said, but the last breath he took was the name of Vishnu. As it is said, if you take in the last breath the name of the divine name, all your sins are forgiven. You will attain him. Then there was a big discussion between them. You see, there is a time to be born and a time to die. If you pass the time, you're back again into the body. So Ajmer have seen that, what was happening. And he realized, oops, I made a mistake. So he was back in his body, he woke up, changed, transformed completely. It was like a second birth for him. This time he renounced everything. He gave everything that he had stolen from the people who had cheated people. He distributed everything and he changed his life completely. And at that time when he died for the second time, Mahavishnu sent his emissary to get him. Because he had advanced into spiritual, realizing that you have to let go of that. So, dying is also like that, you see. If we don't realize the beauty of it, but you will suffer. And like it said in the Garuda Puran, for the soul, which whatever you do, so if you have done little bad, you will go to little hell for a short holiday there. If you have done lots of bad things, you will go to a deeper hell. There's not only one hell like some other, religion said, other tradition said. No, there is many hells. And there is many heavens also. But there is only one supreme heaven. Not even Vaikuntha, It's beyond that. It's where Srimad Narayana lives. And that is the aim to attain. So, how does somebody do? Now, first life stops living from the feet, going upward. The feet of the person become cold. So when the Atma leaves the body, the Atma is still there. Because very often people die, if they are not conscious that they are dying, the Atma is still unconscious. The projection of the conscious, the non-awareness of dying, reflect upon the Atma. So the Atma behaves normal, like normal human being, until they realize that they are dead. Even that, you see, they will try to speak with you, they will try to converse, to try to say, no, look, I'm here, why are you crying? So the Atma stay there. Even when you are after, when you have the body there, the Atma is standing there. After some time, the Atma, detached from this physical level, starts flying above. It is said that it is 12 meters high. The Atma fly around. And then, when you are taking the funeral, the body to be cremated, the Atma is also following. So the moment you burn the body, the Atma doesn't have any link to the body. The Atma knows there's no chance now. That's why in Hindu tribe we don't wait long time to do the cremation. Now the person died the same day or day after. So when the Atma stay there, so when the person return back, then the Atma also return back home. Until we do the 10 days ceremony, na? So the Atma stay there until that time. On the moment the 10 days ceremony is done, the Atma fly to his karma, wherever it have to be. So if Atma have done good things, he can go to another loka and carry on there. Or, I'm talking for advanced soul, they can go to different lokas and be there. And when time comes, if they have not attained the Supreme Lord Himself, so then they come back to this reality. So like that, they stay in the cycle of birth and death until they have the grace of the Lord, so that they can dwell with Him eternally. So this is in short, actually, the journey of the soul till it reaches the Supreme Lord Himself. Does the soul feel pain when leaving the body? Like I said, you see, the soul is not something tangible. Pain is through the mind and the body. So the Atma is not tangible, so that the Atma doesn't feel pain. But through the consciousness, through the awareness of attachment, there is a little degree of that pain. That's why we still find it difficult to detach and to let go. That's why the Atma stayed always around for some time. Could you please explain what Krishna means in Bhagavad Gita about being in this neutral state of mind? Now, throughout the Gita you will see that what Krishna was doing to Arjuna is removing Arjun from one state of mind. You see, how our mind functions. Our mind is limited only to one reality, no? So our mind is either focused on happiness or sadness. Neutral reality means to bring the mind in the middle state where there is no happiness or sadness. Because if you say happiness, automatically there will be sadness. If you feel joy, there will be pain. This is how the mind functions on the outside. No? In everything, our mind is bound by the dualistic state. So it is focused on one or the other. But very few come to the point of neutral state. In the Gita, when we look, Krishna at the beginning tried to reason with Arjun. No? Arjun didn't want to fight. This dejection, he was feeling so dejected, but he didn't want to fight. Seeing his family in front, he will pay. This is all my uncle, my cousin, my brothers. Now, how can I fight them? So Krishna tried to reason with him. Then what he did, he said to Krishna, bring the chariot in the middle. No? Bring the chariot in the middle so that I can see them. So here you have to see. Again, you see that balance between the two. You see, if you are in one far end, you don't see what is happening in the other side. Or if you are in the other side, you don't see what is happening in this side. But if you are in the middle, you have a global view of both sides, which means the whole. If you don't see the whole, then you always see the duality. You always see a part of the reality. Everything, is bound by the veil. The Maya, the mind is covered by the veil of Maya. Your eyes is veiled. What you call reality is still veiled. You perceive also only a fraction of it, of the reality, but you don't see the whole reality. By being in the neutral mind state, Krishna said to Arjuna, you will perceive the whole. Then only you can decide. So that mind state, that neutral mind state is to rise above the two sides. This is where your the spirituality is focused upon. So that you can see the whole, not partial, not a fraction, but everything. So being in the neutral mind state, you can see and perceive everything differently. And you can take the decision also differently. You always emphasize that one must have deep longing for God, but I don't long for God at all. But I just said you don't know Him, so longing for Him will be different. I only long for love, deep, divine, endless, never-ending love. You see, I just told you the free state of love. I have doubt about Krishna, but I don't doubt about love. It's sweet. Actually, you see, this love is Krishna himself. The love is God himself. Love is what you understand. That's why you long for it. To understand Krishna is very difficult. Even Uddhava, who was with Krishna, could not understand him. Who could understand the Creator? No one can understand him. But once you have love inside of you, he will reveal himself. Keep the answer short. How can we attain natural bhakti so that it becomes so pure and sincere? You see, bhakti, like I said, is something that it is gradual. It is natural because it is from you. You have to build your relationship with God. That's bhakti. If there's no relationship with Him, there is no bhakti. That comes with, like all relationship, it is gradual. More you get to know Him, more the love expand and grow. You see, when you feel something for somebody, like I said, when you're in love, you know the person. You have never known the person, but yet, more you get to know the person, more your understanding of the person grows, no? More the love toward that person grows. It's the same thing in bhakti. The natural state of bhakti is relationship. However you love Him, you build a relationship with Him until He becomes everything. Is it possible to activate all the 7 chakras by ourselves? You see, when you do Kriya, you receive the grace of activating the chakras. If I would say yes, there is a danger about it. The danger of activating the chakras by yourself is putting big pressure inside of you. It's like holding a very high voltage wire. What happened? Huh? You explode. The brain will explode. The same. So adventuring oneself into that can damage, in place of advancing, you deprogress yourself. So meaning you damage yourself. I have met many people like that, by forcing themselves. Because you see, you think, yes, I will do this yoga, and I can do it, very often, especially in the West, people read books and then they practice what is written in books. Then no, it's true. It happens so many times, because you see, in the books, the person which is writing is talking about their own spiritual journey. And when reading it, one should take it as an example, but not stop practicing what is written there straight away. Because that person who practiced, they have gone through many stages first, and many lives also of attaining that state. You don't know which state you are, and where you belong. So doing such practice can be fatal. And finish. There's one girl which I know, she read one Kundalini book, something like that. And she stopped practicing it because it's wonderful, beautiful experience, because everybody wants to experience, but nobody wants to do gradual experiencing. They want to experience what is written there straight away. No? So if it's written in the light, I want to see the light. Finish. This has damaged her brain. Now she's sitting in the mental hospital. So in place of advancing gradually, you lose everything. That is a danger when you read and practice by yourself. But whereas when you have the guidance under somebody which have practiced and who have mastered it especially, they know. That's why Guru is very important in one life. So that you don't make the mistake, so that you can rise and grow. And also in anything, if you are doing any mistake, the Guru can bring you back. I know one monk, he was so dedicated to his practice. In very short time, in space of 5 months, he attained a very high degree in spirituality. And he was flying, which means his body became light and he was levitating in the air. When his guru found out, you know what his guru did? No, his guru took a stick and beat him. We can say beat the hell out of him. You know? Beat him till he bleed completely. You know? And throw him out. And tell him, if you sincerely long for spirituality, come to me. If you long for these kind of things, go away from here. And this man, he was a very famous singer in France. And when his guru beat him, he fell at the feet of the master and said, please forgive me. And then the guru blessed him, and he's still living in the monastery. So you see, adventuring oneself like that without proper guidance can be very dangerous. And listening to the Guru is the most important thing. Under the guidance of the Guru, it's very important to take such discipline. Especially when you work with the chakras, you know. The chakra have also reverse way. Chakra doesn't rotate only the clockwise, you know. It can rotate anti-clockwise also. When we take the Sri Chakra, for example, have you seen the Meru? The Sri Chakra? Sri Yantra? Yeah. The Meru, don't all of them turn clockwise. Some of them turn anti-clockwise. And some of them change also in between. Rotating the process of the flow of energy inside of the body. So, I've kept you a long time. No? No. You have any question? कुछ नहीं? Okay. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Jai Gurudev, everybody.